everyone, and welcome inside Maple Grove High School, the home opener for the Crimson volleyball team as they take on the Bison of Buffalo. I'm Charlie Beatty, he's Andy Gugesberg, and Andy, both of these teams coming in off an opening game loss, and they have a lot of things in common. Mainly, they are very young.
Both teams very young. Maple Grove starting a 8th grade setter, a couple other youngsters. Got a sophomore kid transferred in to set the other half of the offense. On the other side of the net, Buffalo with an 8th grader as well, along with 3 sophomores. Youth will definitely be the tell of tonight, how these young kids respond not only to Maple Grove's first game, but under the lights with a little bit of camera action going on. I heard some mumblings as we were walking over here to do our little pregame.
And of course, as I mentioned, both of these teams did lose their first game, but tough competition. Minnetonka for Buffalo and Maple Lake, recent state champions twice in 2A for Maple Grove.
Yeah, Buffalo played a really good Minnetonka team. Now that they're in the Lake Conference, they're going to play a lot of great teams all the way through their entire conference schedule. Moving them up really is going to help them long term, especially when it comes section time, but they are going to take some lumps to some great teams like Minnetonka. On the other side of the net, Maple Grove played in the breakdown tournament at Edina on Saturday and gave Maple Lake, 2-time state champ, everything they could handle, but again, the youth of Maple Grove kind of showed down the stretch, and Maple Lake, who's been there before, who's done it before, able to play a little smooth towards the end and close out all those sets. Second
straight year these two teams have met in the regular season. One of them will go home with their first regular season win as well. Buffalo and Maple Grove coming up next on CCX Sports.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
And welcome back, everybody, as you see the two teams getting set to be introduced here at Maple Grove High School, both coming in with records of 0-1 on the year. Charlie Beatty, Andy Gugesberg upstairs here at Maple Grove, just off to your right in that shot. Our entire CCX crew here as well. And the starters, as we'll meet them as well as they're introduced. A lot of youth on these two teams, but 4 seniors in that Buffalo starting lineup. Colleen Ebert, Kaya Garrett, Ellie Theory, and Lauren Ehlers. And up front it'll be Macy Gaida, Nicole Odine, and Maddie Johnson. And on the Maple Grove side, you won't see a lot of seniors out of this group, and none in the starting lineup. Jordan Lampker out there along with Madeline Knutson, Kara Sear, and Elise Rossing. And Skylar Gray, the future Gopher, Carolyn Hartle and Alyssa Broska, all juniors and sophomores, 1 freshman in that starting lineup. We talked about youth, Andy, in that open, and it really shows when Maple Grove walks out on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple seniors on the team going to be a key part coming off the bench, but as far as starters are concerned, it's all underclassmen, meaning head coach Courtney Sabat is in for a long haul of Brave volleyball. A lot of young players coming in. Here we'll take a look at the second-year head coach, Courtney Sabat, really excited about what her team's going to have to bring to the table this year, filling a big gap left by a senior setter with a blown ACL. You know, here up in CCX land, I believe we had 3 different setters all drop at the preseason, so everybody's getting used to new stuff.
And on the other side there is Jennifer Peterson of the Buffalo Bison.
Bison in her second year as well, I believe, taking over for Lori Zumak. Lori, the longtime Buffalo coach, retired after her youngest daughter, Kari, graduated, had a great freshman season at Creighton last year, and then transferred into the Big Ten, is playing for Steve Aird and the Indiana Hoosiers. Big Ten volleyball, drawn a lot of Minnesota kids. I'll tell you the big thing for me in looking at college volleyball as we're waiting for this one to start is the loss of Sam Swenson, and Minnesota's ability to find a replacement setter for her is going to be pretty big. We've had kids, so from CCX land, Sam graduates, Jazz Martin goes down to, I believe it's Florida State. We also had Izzy Ashburn, she'll be a freshman over at Wisconsin. A lot of big-time players doing some big-time things. Had a great conversation with the assistant coach at Penn State. Lauren Clark is adjusting to life over there quite well. Had a really nice spring. They're looking for her to come off the bench and do some damage in the Big Ten as well.
And the two teams shake hands. And we'll be just about set for the home opener here for Maple Grove. They are obviously in the black, Buffalo in their familiar purple. They are in an unfamiliar territory, though. They are joining the Lake Conference this year along with St. Michael Albertville. And Jennifer Peterson talked about that with us just before the match, saying that she is really excited, and her players are very excited about what's going to be a really tough challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. With the growth of the Lake Conference, it used to be a double round robin to figure out conference champions, which led to a lot of split series and co-conference titles. This year, everybody's going to get one shot. Wayzata, Hopkins, Minnetonka, St. Michael, Buffalo, trying to remember, Edina still in there, and I believe that's the conference. I might be missing one team.
Did you say Eden Prairie?
I did not say Eden Prairie, and Chad Becker's probably going to punch me next time he sees me. Interesting having a conversation with Carl Katzenberger this summer during the Vikings' first preseason game. He was talking about Chad and Scott and all the guys and Vicky, and how the four of them have been in that conference for a long time. Carl, when he was at Armstrong, when Armstrong was in that conference, and just talking about with all that coaching talent, and goodness knows we've had some great matches with those coaches here. Chad Becker, the only one with a state title. Looking for somebody from that conference to step up and do it again this year.
Nicole Odine gets us started. And a good start for Buffalo.
Yeah,
1-0 as that one's off the hands.
Serving into that seam, unable to communicate. I think we probably want Broska. Is it Broska? I'm going to get that wrong again.
Broska.
Broska, thank you very much. Broska probably needs to take that ball.
Odine led the team with 41 aces last year. This one will be returned. And the point to Maple Grove. Contact with the net, I believe, from a Buffalo player.
Yep, we had Macy into the net on that one as it's a 1-1 tie. Entering the game, Liesel Haugen, just a freshman, is that correct? Yes, just a freshman.
Not the youngest player on the team, however.
No, absolutely.
Our 8th graders on both of these rosters. And it is Haugen to do the serving. An awkward first touch there for Colleen Ebert, and it's 2-1 Maple Grove.
Our TV audience, Liesel Haugen and her Minnesota Select 14-1 team qualified for the 14 Open Division at Nationals, and they came home with a bronze medal. Very nice showing in Indy for the Minnesota-based club.
That one, an awkward play at the net for Buffalo, results in the point for Maple Grove. And after that first ugly service return, 3 good points for the Crimson. Neither of these teams took a set in their openers. Both lost 3-0, and as you know better than most, it doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't close.
Absolutely true.
First chance for Gray, and it's long.
Nope, we have another net violation.
One time the call goes against Kaya Garrett, the sophomore. So 4-1 Crimson.
Al Anderson, our up official, a Shakopee native, coming way up north here to help us out tonight.
Good service run here for Haugen. And able to dig that one fairly easily, and they'll try Gray again. This time the soft touch, and it works just as well. 5-1.
Gray hasn't played competitive volleyball in quite some time. She missed most of her club season with a concussion protocol, able to get back and get that touch on the ball. You mentioned earlier the Gopher commit, really excited. Hugh McCutcheon speaking very highly of her work ethic and her desire to get better every single day.
That one well long from Haugen, so the run ends there, 5-2, and Buffalo will rotate Lauren Ehlers to serve. Ehlers led the team in kills a season ago. The 3 players just behind her all graduated. 321 kills between Demi Mills, Faith Winter, Kennedy Solar. They have to replace all of that. Bad angle for that shot, but it worked out for Macy Gaida. Got a little help from the top of the net there. The tape doing some work.
That's normally the home court bounce. You don't see that for the away team very often. Bison take advantage.
5-3. Buffalo working its way back into the set early. That one was a rocket and did touch the line. Close call there. That looked long to my eyes, but we're way up here.
Turns out we got a camera for that. That's a nice swing. Ooh, tough angle. We'll take it. We'll take it. Sear with the kill.
And she will have the service as well. Addie Johnson playing that one from deep. And off the hand that time of Haugen. And that shot came from Sydney Beamer, who talked about 8th graders. There's one of them.
Yeah, Beamer does a really nice job placing that ball down into the 1-6 seam. 8th grader, not going to hit with a lot of pace, but she's got really good vision. Look for her to find spots of wood floor all night long.
Claire Evans, another Buffalo senior. They've got 6 of them on the roster. That one off the side of her hand, it looked like, and twisted into the net.
Back into the match, the libero for Buffalo, Johnson, and then 8th grader, is it Annika Johnson? Annika Olsen back to serve, and she will take over the setting responsibilities.
Yeah, that serve wide as well. So after that early run from Haugen, nobody able to get the rhythm serving quite right, and 7-5.
Yeah, you're going to see some uncharacteristic errors. I took a buddy of mine to a scrimmage last Saturday, and he looked at me and he said, are these teams playing well? And I said, no, it's August. Nobody's playing well in August. You just want to stem the tide and survive August. Get good in September and be playing great volleyball in October.
And hopefully November.
And hopefully November. Be one of the few.
3 straight service miscues, and so it'll be Skylar Gray trying to break this run. 8-5 Maple Grove. Gray 210 kills last year.
She took the lion's share of the swings for the Crimson. They graduated a couple really nice players, but Gray definitely doing the majority of the work for them.
Good block there, but out of bounds.
Elise Rossing using the hands quite well there. Gets a great long approach and finishes her swing into the block and out. We'll take another look here. Middle block getting across late and not quite getting her shoulders turned back to the middle of the court.
Long arms from Rossing, tallest player on the floor tonight for either team at 6'1". Back to the 8th grader, and mistiming the jump that time was Beamer.
Beamer wanting to go fast there. That's an out-of-system ball. I like the courageous play. Got to make sure she's on the same cue with her setter, though.
Maple Grove starting to pull away a little bit again as Gray with a couple serves here. That one's a bullet and too tough for Johnson to handle. And it's 11-5.
Yeah, I'll watch Gray from up here. I want nothing to do with that serve. That ball had some heat on it. Contact points high, never really goes up. You see her contact, she's above the net. When she touches it, it means that ball never goes up. It just goes off her hand and down. Very tough to read when it's going to break.
Another one, just too long this time. Is there a correlation between players who are such good hitters at the net and those that can put power on the serves?
Well, there's a little bit of correlation there. I think more so your ability to hit the ball high and hard affects your ability to put something down on it. A lot of times, the mental aspect of it, with that ball being 30 feet further away, you tend to have hitters take a lot off in order to make sure they aren't missing serves.
Gray from deep and well long. Maple Grove didn't really deal with the serve from Colleen Ebert, sophomore. And once again, the Bison trying to play catch-up here in set number 1, down by 4. Rossing, diving attempt from Johnson, but had to come from too far away.
Rossing really liking what we call the hypotenuse corner there. When she gets that set high to the outside, the deepest part of the court, the place where she has the most room, is into the deep cross court, and it's very, very rarely defended at the high school level. A lot of points can get scored if you can find the deep 5 corner and the deep 1 corner.
No trigonometry yet. School hasn't started yet.
Fair enough. Oh,
off the face, but it's still playable. Awkward there for Ebert, but she jumps back into the play. Buffalo dealing with that attempt from Rossing. Crimson able to set it up again. First good rally, really, of the match here. Hasn't necessarily been clean. Somebody's going to win it, however. No answers yet. And a nice dig on the back line by Gray. Rossing, though, just has to bump over it. And finally, too many at the net for the Crimson.
Big block from the Crimson there. Nice long rally. Maintained composure from both sides. Like you said, in the middle of the rally, not necessarily the cleanest ball we've seen today, but the energy and the effort allow that point to extend and eventually be won by the hometown Crimson.
20th point of the match, and the first one, like we said, there was a real long rally. Is that a momentum point for these two teams?
It could be. We'll see how, what'll probably happen right now, we'll see how, and this is exactly what Maple Grove doesn't want. After a long rally like that, you want to take that momentum and run. You want to serve right away, but we must have had some moisture on the floor. Maybe when Gray laid out, yeah, it looks like Gray laid out in the middle of that play, extending the rally as we talked about, but now because of that, need a little bit of a team delay here, so she's able to wipe up the condensation on the floor. Want to make sure everybody stays safe. Hard to tell from your TV angle, but it's a little warm in here. Not the worst gym we've been in, but definitely air conditioning not quite pumping right now.
Well, I left my house several hours ago in a downpour. I was prepared for that. By the time I got here, it was sunny, it was humid, sweating bullets.
Well, I'll tell you, you go to Maple Grove, we keep it nice and 76 most of the time. It's clean living and extra church. That's what gets you there.
Broska with the serve. So I'm just doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. I don't want to tell you how to live your life.
No, but you just did.
I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong.
You're making strong points. Skylar Gray with the kill.
Gray with
14-7. Get back on track here.
Look at this. This is kind of a crow hop approach. Gray not expecting this ball, but the middle jumped early, so the only spot the setter could go was back to Gray. Takes 2 steps, throws her arms up and through into the deep one. Nice shot.
High in the air off the hands of Beckman. A deep attack ball. Broska trying to dig it. They won't be able to chase it down. That was hammered from Lauren Ehlers. As I said, led the team with 154 kills last year. Also had 9 on Thursday against Minnetonka.
She's definitely going to take the lion's share here. That's a great up, and then just not quite enough air under that ball to extend the rally. You can see there, libero not really excited about the fact that that ball hit the ground after she made such a great effort.
Again, Gray from behind the line and hits it well long.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about with the coach was with these new setters trying to run the offense, getting them connecting with the hitters is going to be key. Those 2 hitting errors out of the back row, they've both set too far behind Gray. If you want to set a back row ball, you've got to set it at about 8 feet so she can come into that and still get a full swing.
Awkward first touch for Rossing. Gives Buffalo a chance. And that one does go wide, however. Break there for Maple Grove, because that was really set up for Buffalo to win the point.
Yeah, awkward ball sent back across, free ball opportunity for the Bison, and they just missed, trying to get a little fancy there.
15-9. And a 5-set match, of course, here again tonight. The winner of this set will be the first set win of the season. Buffalo will try Ehlers again, this time blocked. Met at the net by Sear. It looked like also over there was Madeline Knutson, the freshman.
Yeah, definitely. I think Sear's in a commit block situation here. We know the lion's share of the swings are going to go outside. So Sear leaves early. Look for her to kind of stand back there and wait for that ball to get set outside.
Jenilyn Hartle, I'm not sure if that was a miss hit or design, but she put it in a perfect spot.
That's pretty indefensible right there. And this early in the season, they're definitely not going to be talking about how to take care of that. Yeah, that short serve right now, they're communicating whether the outside should come back into the middle and pick that up, or who's going to play that short serve.
Able to handle this one. Ehlers, that ball I believe was touched, and it is Buffalo point.
The difference between good outside hitters and great outside hitters is good outside hitters avoid the block, great outside hitters find a way to use it. That's a great use off the edge right there, on purpose, with intent, extending the court for the Bison.
The Therian on the serve, or pardon me, Nicole Odine. She's there to set it again. This time goes to the near side. Rossing on the line.
Might have had a touch on that as well, but we'll take the point either way.
Knutson, pardon me, on that kill. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, Knutson also played on that select team. She played on the right side for them and playing a little outside here in this rotation. They're able to take a 3 middle offense here, does Maple Grove. So you'll see 3 different athletes in the middle blocker position, and then whichever one of them, sometimes there's 2 up there, and when that happens, one of them is going to be on a pin, either the left or the right.
Gray with a nice dig to keep that one alive. Now the Crimson have another chance, and Gray will try to finish it, and does. That was all her points. She was able to keep that first attack alive in the middle on that soft kill attempt here by Gaida.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this swing here. She does a really nice job of putting that ball between the 5-6 seam and down for a point, leading to a timeout here for Buffalo, the first timeout of the match. Jennifer Peterson probably getting her kids under control again. They've been chasing the ball for the last 10 or so points. The difference between good defense and great play is your ability to read the play. If you're chasing the ball, you're not reading anything. You're just playing from behind. Once we see the ball get passed, there's certain things they can do and there's certain things they can't do. The teams that are really good at playing defense are the ones that can eliminate the stuff that can't get done and worry only about the things that can beat them, that can score points. So right now, the things that can beat them are Skylar Gray. Skylar Gray, if she wants to take her swing, she's been able to hit the ball anywhere on the court she wants. Right now, the biggest problem is the Bison got to be able to take care of this first pass. They've got to calm down, get it past, maybe not perfect, but something inside the 10-foot line so that they can run something that resembles an offense and get out of this rotation.
Should be noted, this is not actually the first time these two teams have seen each other this year. They did play a scrimmage last Tuesday, and they did play a match at St. Michael Albertville last year, won by Maple Grove 2-1. Is that ball touched? It was touched, or who was it?
It was not touched.
Indecision. Jennifer Peterson not happy with this. It is going to be Maple Grove's point, it looks like. Now there's going to be discussion.
There are some pluses and minuses to the way high school officiating happens. And most high school matches, the ball is, see here, that ball.
Hard to tell from there, but I thought it caught a finger. It looked like it changed direction.
I'm with you. I thought I had a touch on the net on the block. And now they're going to say that that ball was out of bounds. Appreciate all of the parents that help out throughout the season. Parent line judges, definitely a necessary part of the game, but sometimes the game gets moving a little fast.
It was a tough job, especially when you're just volunteering.
Right, yeah.
That one definitely touched, and Ehlers gets the kill.
Ehlers again finding the block there is Skylar Gray not penetrating across the net. She tries to go vertical, instead getting her hand across. She'll make that change.
And Buffalo, again, just trying to play catch up here, down 20-11. Ehlers rotates back to serve. 5'8" senior. Hard deep serve. A nice pickup by Ehlers. That ball was out.
Good vision and court awareness there by Hartle as she watches that ball go out of bounds.
Sophomore Kara Sear for the second time today back to serve. And again, that first ball giving Buffalo a little bit of trouble for the 8th grader. That's some net contact here. There was.
Net violation. Al Anderson waiting to get the confirmation from our down ref. Once he got the number right and agreed with the call, we have a point for Buffalo. Got a lot of work in front of them if they're going to come back and make a game out of this one. Though.
Claire Evans with the service. That one definitely in, right in the corner.
It's a really nice shot. Was that Gray again?
I think that might have been Jordan Lampker this time.
Well, good. We'll take a look. Yes, it was Lampker. It's a really nice shot into the corner. Tough angle, great play. Middles that get available in transition are a setter's best friend.
Jordan spends a lot of time in this room. Volleyball and then just to basketball in the winter. Long on the serve. And again, Buffalo still down by 9. Just as you said a second ago, a lot of work to do. They need to run.
Yeah, they can't keep trading side outs. They're going to run out of real estate real quick here.
Junior Emma Beckman will try to get things going. Broska able to handle it. Gray, though, doesn't have much to work with. Maple Grove can set up the attack. Lampker again in. Right on the line.
Kids gets up well. That's a really nice swing by her. Again, available in transition. They're going to take a look here. Able to hit that ball into the, oh my goodness, that's a really nice swing. Skylar Gray really excited about that one.
It's 2 balls on 2 consecutive points for 2 consecutive attacks, I should say, for Lampker that were basically perfectly placed with power, too. Gray on the serve and gets the ace. And Bison gave up on it.
Yeah, Beckman more hoping that ball was out than thinking that ball was out. That was a really nice serve.
So Gray can finish up the set here at 24-13. Pretty convincing so far for Maple Grove. That one into the net. And the Bison get a stay of execution here in set number 1.
Great communicator. After she missed that serve, there was no woe is me, right back into it, getting her teammates involved again. Hey, we're good, we got the next ball. Ebert back to serve here.
Rossing and mistiming the jump there, and Buffalo lives for another point here, down 9.
Rossing a little excited there. She wants to wait, be patient, see where that ball takes her, and then go finish her swing.
Colleen Ebert serving for the Bison, trying to keep them alive here. Broska down to the floor. Rossing another chance at it. That one blocked. Double touch.
Anderson's going to say there was no touch on the block. I'm with you, though. I had one, but then it was a lift instead of 4 contacts. It's kind of irrelevant at this point.
Right, looking for Rossing one more time.
Oh,
no. And they are able to keep it alive again, the Bison. Rossing trying to finish this set. And instead, it is Ehlers with the kill.
Yeah, Ehlers getting a free second opportunity. She bumped that free ball across, and the Crimson got real aggressive there and decided to try and block it. So when she gets the second chance, she goes off the block. Gray in a position, if that ball goes in the seam, she's got it, but because it went off the block and redirected, causing some problems.
Bison proving hard to put away here in set number 1. That will do it. That one's well wide from Lauren Ehlers. 25-17. Bison with a late charge, maybe their best run of the set there when they were down 24-13, but it is a Crimson set here in set number 1, their first set win of the year.
Yeah, Crimson able to come out fast and hold on to finish. That 4-point run at the end can't keep the Crimson happy, but they'll go across the net, remembering what it feels like for the first time this season to win that set.
Coaches have a chance to reset things here. Number 2 is on the way. First one goes to the Crimson on CCX Sports.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back to Maple Grove. Charlie Beatty, Andy Gugesberg, our entire CCX crew. Both of these teams in conferences that are going through a little bit of a change here in 2019. Mentioned the Bison already moving to the Lake Conference. This is what it's going to look like. There's 2018. There's nothing written over there. No teams. And now you had Buffalo and St. Michael Albertville. And I think everybody on both sides very happy about this. And it's going to make the Lake Conference, I think, a lot more compelling.
Absolutely. Buffalo coming in out of the Mississippi 8, is that right? Yeah. Both of them out of the Mississippi 8, which they were the only two teams that really were competitive in that conference. So to have them both come and join the power that is the Lake Conference, really going to make all 7 of those teams significantly better.
And of course, those two communities just growing so fast, kind of outgrew the Mississippi 8 really. And then of course the one new team in the Northwest Suburban is Rogers, another vastly growing community out of the Mississippi 8 as well. And Irondale moving on to the Suburban East, which geographically makes a lot of sense. I think Irondale is kind of in the nether region between the Suburban East and the Northwest Suburban. And I think this is going to be an interesting fit. Of course, Rogers right next door to where we are and rivals with Maple Grove quite a bit. That's going to be a fun experience for all of those kids.
Yeah, I don't speak very much on most sports, but I do know in the volleyball realm, Rogers and up-and-comers will fit in very well in the Northwest Suburban with the Centennials, the Anokas, the Andovers, plus all the teams that we cover.
Rogers had a situation a couple of years ago where they built an elementary school and they filled it so fast they had to get together a bond issue to build another one in about 2 years because so many people were moving there. And again, just outgrew the Mississippi 8. I think they'll be right at home here in the Northwest Suburban. And not just volleyball, a lot of other sports as well. Excellent. I know soccer as well has really, really grown at Rogers. Two teams getting organized here for set number 2. Trying to decide whether to call that first set a convincing win for Maple Grove. It was on the score line for the most part, but not necessarily a perfect set. I think if Courtney Savitt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some pieces they can continue to improve on. I think they did a really good job at the net with their blocking commitments. I thought they took care of Buffalo's #1 hitters quite well, made them really uncomfortable, made them earn all the points they got. Never lost a kid, which if you've got young kids, which both of these teams do, that will be the first thing that happens when the ball starts moving too fast. You tend to lose a hitter here and there, and suddenly you get a 1-on-none, and that's a morally devaluing opportunity.
Hartle had a couple of very good short serves in that first set. Goes deep this time. Ehlers blocked. Crimson Point. It's the first time they've been able to really stuff it back at Ehlers.
Yeah, they've slowed her down a little bit, but that's the first time that it didn't even get across. Really nice block there. Finally got hands across to finish.
Bison's only lead was at 1-0 in that first set. They won't have that here in the second set. They're able to keep that ball alive, however. Not for long. Nice touch there by Knutson.
Yeah, Odine looked like she's a little beat up here, and it's going to be Bison Point as there's a net violation, maybe?
It certainly was pointed Maple Grove's way and then changed. So it is 1-1. And it is Odine back to serve. Going down to the floor a couple times on that last point. This time it's the serve that hits the floor. She'll take that.
Nice little drop serve there from Odine as she kind of pushes her hand under the ball, creating a small amount of backspin. Really tough to play.
Crimson able to get at this one, but they didn't set it up very well. And instead, Knutson just doesn't wait.
Rossing really goes athletic on a bad set and able to keep it alive, extending the rally, and now she will leave the court and Haugen will step back in to serve.
That 2-1 lead. Short-lived for Buffalo, and as I said, their first one since early in that first set, and Haugen gets a little help from the net.
Haugen going to cause nightmares for serve receivers throughout the season, I have a feeling. The ball doesn't move very fast, but it does break a lot. From the end line, if you take a look at it, you can see this ball really move well.
Good work by Odine to keep that alive at the net. But again, it's Maple Grove able to set something up, and they'll get the point. Almost looked like Sear didn't get full contact on that one, but it worked out.
Sometimes a little is just enough. Something we tell our middles all the time. Get up, get available. You don't need to hit it all. That's from the right side, but she does hit some in the middle. She's able to just take a little off the edge, drop that ball down for a point.
Sometimes a mishit might be the best thing. It went around the block. Haugen still serving, and that one's long. Good decision that time by Ebert. We've seen Buffalo a couple times, maybe a little indecisive on those deep serves, whether to leave them or take them. That time at the last second, it was Ebert pulling out.
And serving Lauren Ehlers.
Ehlers waiting for the whistle. Gray stuffed right back at her.
Gray expecting a higher set a little further out, trapped inside, doesn't have much to do. But if you're as good as Gray is, you can do something a little bit better. You can chip that ball off a block, you can push it deep, you can do something with it. There's no way anybody on Maple Grove is going to be able to cover that ball for you.
Kaya Garrett got there, and the service from Ehlers is long. Gives the Crimson the lead again, and the serve. Kara Sear. Starting from the stands. Whatever works for you. Tough ball at the net.
Yep.
Might have been multiple hands on the net there from Maple Grove.
On the net, over the net, just cheating. Pull out a card, get it out of here. That was a tough play. Nice tight pass. Setter does a really nice job of going up and getting it. If she doesn't go get that ball, that's a clean play probably from the block, as the hands would have been slowed down by the ball. Really nice athletic play by the setter there, able to get a point for her team.
Bison got into a deep hole early in that first set, much more competitive early in the second one. Chance to take the lead here. Good block and a great dig by Ehlers. Roska trying to keep it alive. And a tough one to pull out of the corner. And long, eventually from Knutson. Never really looked like Maple Grove had any control in that point.
No, and the long point, now that's our second one of the match, and each team has won one of them. It did lead to a little bit of a momentum swing for Maple Grove. We'll see if Buffalo can turn the tide themselves here.
Knutson with power and nicely dug out, that time by Odine. But couldn't get the finish.
Odine frustrated with herself right there after a great dig, not able to put that ball across the net.
I imagine that's one of the tougher things to do.
Yeah.
Make this play, then get up off the floor and hit from the spot she had to hit from.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of tough in there. But I'll tell you what, as the kid who's made a couple of those digs, I want it to be me that makes the error, because if one of my teammates hits that ball into the net, I'm going to lose my mind.
Into the net. And the Bison get the lead back.
Olsen, that ball looked, like if that ball trickles over, there isn't a Bison player within 15 feet of it, but it falls short.
So Emma Beckman, the junior. Bison yet to have a 2-point lead at any point. And they'll have it now.
Everything they need, just play calm and relaxed and let them get the ball across the net. Maple Grove making enough errors right now. Bison up by 2.
They do look like a different group here through the first 14 points of the second set. Got a little bit of momentum maybe late in that first set. Carried over. Oh, what a play there. Odine on 2. Puts them up 3.
Yeah, really good vision there as she catches the block from Maple Grove, kind of sleeping, watching volleyball happen. Courtney Sabat's had enough. She's going to take a timeout and reawaken the Crimson here. I've heard her. I was able to work the McCutcheon team camp this summer, and Maple Grove came in and just listened what she has to say to these athletes, the way she inspires them, the way she motivates them. Really does a nice job. Look for that off this timeout. A lot of communication, a lot of movement towards the ball. what's been happening here as this second set is gone, and actually we saw it at the end of the first set, was Maple Grove just kind of going into coast. And as a result of that, Buffalo now able to take advantage because they're playing a lot tougher, a lot faster. Off this timeout, I think it's Maple Grove's to win here still, even though they're down by 3. If they get back under control and move fast to the ball, they're going to be just fine. Right now, somebody's got to step up and lead.
It's always the trick on a team, and all we've talked about is youth all night long. Who will be that leader? Gray, maybe the obvious candidate. She was a captain last year as a sophomore. And they'll get the first point as she puts Buffalo in a bind there. It's 9-7.
Good quick side out there off the timeout. Great play call from the coach as they go double quick and set the ball back to Gray.
Crimson last year, 16-game winners. 16-13 overall. Lost to Osseo in the section playoffs, which I'm sure does not sit well.
Yeah, some of those kids know each other.
Just a little. And wide from the 8th grader, Beamer, trying to sneak one down the line.
Yeah, at that same McCutcheon camp, Maple Grove, Osseo was there as well, and I don't know how they scheduled it. They tried to avoid each other, but those teams ran into each other 5 times in 2 days. Played multiple sets against each other and just competitive. Ooh, Anderson going to call that ball down. It looked up to me, but I don't know that that extends the rally either way. Not worth the fight. 9-9, and off the timeout, Crimson responding well.
3 consecutive points. Gray to serve again. Empty spot, front left if she wants to go for it. Instead, she tries to go down the line. Modine once again trying that sneak attack. This time it didn't work out, and the Crimson are back in front.
It is very rare, even at the high school level, that the second ball attack or the setter dump, depending on how you want to call it, scores out of serve receive. As you can hear Maple Grove talking about it, every single one of them sets live 2 attackers, pointing out where the setter is. She's not going to get away with that ball out of serve receive. In transition, she might get lost, but out of serve receive, it's a really tough play.
Having a tough time handling the serves of Gray right now, and they couldn't handle the rocket from Lampker again.
Lampker definitely athletic enough to make a difference. Her volleyball skills coming around quite well right now. You can see her really getting deep in transition, coming in, attacking well.
Somebody who knows the Maple Grove Osseo rivalry from both sides. Beamer. Rossing with the dig and the finish, and it's 6 consecutive points for Maple Grove.
Look for a timeout here, and here it comes from the Bison. You know, really nice swing here to finish. We'll take a look at the end of this play. I think if we back it up a little bit, though, you can see Sydney Beamer, who's a nice little player, but the arm of an 8th grader not really getting enough done to make Maple Grove uncomfortable. That 3-point lead has now turned into a 3-point deficit as Maple Grove rattles off 6 straight. Kids looking a little tired. We'll take a look at this whole point here. We got a really nice pass. It's off the net. They're going to get a good-looking swing. She tries to go roll shot, trying to take the outside hitter out. All it does is increase her approach launch pad, and it's a big swing to finish. Ellie Rossing, not known for her defensive prowess. I guess I'm okay with the idea of going after her, but she read that one well and was able to get herself in position to take a second swing or a second touch as well.
Very different facial expression here for Courtney Sabbath than maybe 3 minutes ago. She was very frustrated when her team came off of that timeout. Has a chance to smile here as they've ripped off a 6-0 run.
When we talked with her before the game, she said team chemistry is great with this team, but there doesn't seem to be a killer instinct. I think she's starting to find it here maybe from Skylar Gray.
Gray stepping up to be a leader, just as we thought she might here when the Crimson needed her most in set number 2. Another hammer on that serve. This time a little more power from Beamer, but the Crimson able to keep it alive. And Gray goes long, and Buffalo desperately needed a point, and they were just handed one.
Yeah, that's an unforced error in my book for Gray there. She gets an out-of-system ball and misses deep 6. I'm a firm believer that if you miss in the middle of the court, most of the time it's because you weren't focused on where you were trying to hit the ball. Zone 6 typically closed, especially there. Oh, nice block.
Looked like that was Therian at the net, number 14. Couple of hands up for Buffalo, and they've now battled back to within 1.
It's a quick set. They stay on the trap there. Good idea to go around it, but Therian not allowing that to happen.
Rossing making something out of nothing there, and the Bison are having to chase that one to the back wall. We didn't see the beginning of that point, but Rossing set it off the serve, not necessarily well. It came back to her. Pretty good hit from deep.
Yeah, does a really nice job there of just staying calm and putting a ball in play.
Broska. Libero doing the service, and that one had a lot on it and too much.
Back within 1 are the Bison there on another untimely error from Maple Grove.
Maddie Johnson. Ehlers got off some hands, and it's in anyway. Back to 13-13. Haven't seen that attack point from Ehlers really in the last couple minutes, and it's really worked out well for Buffalo tonight.
Yeah, she goes off the hands, and then that's the frustrating part. Broska and Gray both take a step and then look at each other. That's not elite defense in practice. They both got to make that move and go for the ball and figure out whose it is later instead of hoping somebody else is going to make a play.
Rossing well long, but it was touched.
Anderson with a quick call on the touch there. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Jennifer Peterson voicing her disagreement. Take a look at it here.
Ooh, I think that block was late, but Anderson disagreed. Anderson has the touch. We're going to go 14-14, I believe.
Still says 14-13 here.
Courtney Sabat talking to her middle about how to get through the ball well.
They haven't put anything on the board here or on our scoreboard either. That one is wide. A desperation attempt from Colleen Ebert, and it's definitely 14-14 now.
I've been wrong before. 14-14, we're going to play from here.
And miscommunication for Buffalo. Gives Maple Grove a chance, but they didn't deal with it all that well. Buffalo, another chance. Ehlers stuffed. How about a third chance? Kept alive by Rossing. Right into the net, but it worked out. Now, a centimeter lower, and it's a Buffalo point, but because it tipped off the net, it became chaos.
Right, and there's Gray again, expecting a ball in front of the 10-foot line. The ball set to 14 feet. As a result, she's falling backwards to finish that swing. Good enough for the point, though.
Just a touch over here from Odine. Gray hit the top of the net. And it went. And now they're going to call that deflected, and that did not hit a Buffalo hand. It hit right off the tape.
This is going to be a tough angle here for us to see. I think from the middle it might be a little bit better, but we'll take a look here. See, we're going to catch the ball. It's going to be tipped off the tape. I don't think that caught number 2, but that could be what Al saw. As a result, we're going to go.
That's a big point. It would make it 17-14 if Maple Grove gets it. Ehlers having to go across and do the explaining.
Got another look here.
I don't think
that's
even close.
That's no touch, however. Al Anderson saw it differently, and he's the one in the stand, so we're going to call it 17-14.
So that's a huge break for Maple Grove. And they take advantage with an ace. The deep serve that time from Hartle. Well, you don't really want to see a set turn on something like that.
Yeah, I think Maple Grove was taking control of the set again there, but that point would have been huge for Buffalo to stem their tide and maybe get back in this thing. This goes 19-14. I think we better see a timeout.
Rossing does just that.
Big swing from Rossing there. 19-14.
Now the Bison have to dig deep here.
Looking to get out of this one before the damage gets any worse.
And they'll get a break as Hartle trying to send it into the concession stand behind that door. Nearly hit Ricardo Jones, who's standing in the doorway, the athletic director here at Maple Grove.
He's everywhere we need him to be.
Well, right now he's hanging out by the fan because he's a smart guy. There's Ricardo. Great guy. Knudsen. Let's dig by Johnson. Dean able to set up Ehlers. And the Bison have to scramble, and they're not going to have the strength to get that one overhead.
Good strong finish there from Maple Grove.
Substitution for Maple Grove's back in comes Liesl Haugen. 2015. Crimson pulling away here late. Remember, it was 14-14. Bison really haven't been able to put together an attack that's going to work out well for them. Tap play at the net. And that's in.
Great patience at the net. Second leap here is really going to be the difference. Overpass and then really great corner there. And we'll get a timeout from Buffalo as they trail 15-21 here in set two. Yeah, that touch call really kind of spun things, and I don't think that Coach Peterson was able to reset into the game quick enough there. You know, she's a relatively new coach. As you get a little longer in the tooth, as they say in this game, you learn that there are certain things you can control and certain things you can't. That's one of those things that she's got to get over a lot quicker, get back in to help her team, maybe call a timeout a couple points earlier, see if they can stop this thing at 16 instead of now we're sitting at 14-21. Maple Grove, freshman Liesl Haugen back to serve. I believe 3 times she has missed her serve to end long rallies. We'll see how she does off this timeout.
Bison retaking the court. And Haugen's ready, the Bison are ready. 7-point lead here at set number 2. And once again, the Crimson able to deal with it. That time, Gaida trying to finish it. And the Bison scrambling around, able to get this one back over. Not this time.
Wow.
A rocket from Sear, and it's 22-14.
They run gap C on a free ball, and the block just guesses at that point. That's a great play. I love this angle, too. The block has to make a decision, kind of stays in and cheats towards the middle, meaning the right side is left 1-on-none. Nice, nice decision from the setter there.
Trying to get a confirmation on why they took the point back from Buffalo. It was 21-15, I thought, when we went into the break. That would make this an 8-0 run for Maple Grove. And now a 9-0 run
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened in there. There's been points missing both sides now, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, what we do know, the Maple Grove pulling away once again late in the set. We'll see if they can put away Buffalo in set number 2. Had a little trouble when they got to set point. An ace for Haugen.
And remember, we had a missed serve that started the 4 or 5 point run for Buffalo. We'll see if Haugen can handle the ball behind the line here.
Didn't think this set would have a greater separation than set number 1, but it's been all Maple Grove here the last couple minutes with some controversy in there as well.
Coach Peterson double checking. We should have 15 is what she has. Making sure we're all on the same page here. If we were something important and official, we might be able to help out. But as it is, we're just going to sit here and watch.
Going to stay at 14. Ehlers down to the floor to hold it in is Hartle. Ehlers just has to bump over. Put it in a good spot, however.
Oh, nice cover.
Hartle's had a great point here so far. Sear trying to finish it. Odine. And the point goes to Buffalo on the finish from Macy Guida.
Great finish to the point there. Great defensive effort from the setter, Hartle. Really, really like the way she's playing the whole game right now.
Can Buffalo prove tenacious enough here at set point for a second consecutive set?
Double contacts.
It's Buffalo point. Crimson were celebrating, but it is Buffalo now at 24-16. Ehlers, good serve. Across for Beamer, and that's wide, and it's 2-0 set score. 25-17, now 25-16.
Big aggressive play there from Maple Grove down the stretch. After tying it at 14-14, they go on a great run here to finish. Let's take a look at this last point. A little bit of chaos there, great effort to keep that ball alive. Sear with an even better roll shot around the antenna. We're out of system here, big block, and not able to cover are the Bison, and that'll end it as we sit here at the end of 2 sets. Maple Grove in control, 2-0.
And they will go for the put away when we come back. Courtney Sabat trying to dial it up here for Maple Grove, up 2-0 on CCX Sports.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
All Maple Grove so far through 2 here on CCX Sports. Charlie Beatty, Andy Guggesberg. Tonight, you'll be back again tomorrow night. There's another matchup with these two conferences, the rival of Maple Grove, and you could say a rival of Buffalo as well. Osseo and St. Michael Albertville tomorrow night.
Yeah, going to be very exciting to do St. Michael Albertville at Osseo. St. Michael Albertville, coached by, now I'm blanking. I believe it was Nikki. Used to be a Pinata. So another I'm used to being on CCX family. Going to be very exciting. Saw St. Michael and Osseo both play on Saturday at Edina at the Breakdown Tournament. That should be a great match. Big athletic kids on both sides of the net. Great coaching, good ball control. Going to be a lot of fun. And then we see the rest of the CCX lineup this week.
Double dip of football. Waconia and Cooper on Thursday, and Benilde holding off till Friday. They'll take on Orono. I'll have a chance to be at that game on Friday night. Then, of course, next week, it's a decent-sized matchup on Wednesday night at Champlin Park, Lakeville North and Champlin Park.
Champlin Park, last year's 3A winner, first state title for a team sport in Champlin Park history, playing
after a lot of close calls.
After a lot of close
in multiple sports, basketball, volleyball, even the football team made the semifinals a couple of years ago.
Yep, they will be playing 2017 big class winner Lakeville North. Both teams beating Egan in 5 in back-to-back state tournaments. Those two teams going to play a non-conference match. In talking with Allison Axness, the assistant coach at Champlin Park, she said their non-conference schedule, she could very easily see them not winning a match and being better for it. They've scheduled very tough this year.
Stick by Johnson. Nice little play there by Odine again. Going for that far corner. Boy, she took a look, picked a spot, saw the empty space.
Yeah, that's a really, really good finish there. Great dig, and on two, she goes into the corner. When you're in transition, that setter dump will work, and Odine has 2 beauties so far today.
She serves now as the Bison with the early lead. Nice pickup that time by Sear. Boy, Maple Grove, Sear and Hartle have gone to the floor really well. But a double touch will give it to the Bison.
Yeah, they had some real, the high school officials have been told to let athletic play happen as far as the double contact is concerned, which means there's another area of judgment for them to figure out. That time, Al Anderson saying that wasn't athletic enough to let play continue.
Maddie Johnson's had a couple of nice plays. Keep it alive for the Bison. And what a dive there, but over the net.
Back row attack is the call there. I don't know that I agree with that. I thought she was below the plane. But again, Anderson in a better spot than we are. We are another 20 feet in the air and another 30 feet away from the play. So judgment call, we'll let him go.
Lost and all that was a great one-handed dig by Ebert, which didn't matter by that point. Serve is long, however, and it's 3-1. Well, if the Bison are going to come back and win this thing, they'll have to do something they haven't done in almost 2 years. They'll have to play a 5-set match. They haven't had one since October of 2017. Long way to go before we get there. A lot of work to do. And the Crimson tripping over themselves on that point a little bit. 4-1.
Lack of communication there between the setter and the right side, as Sear thought she was coming in tight on the C ball, but the out-of-system play is to chuck it high behind, and just miscommunication. It's August. That'll get fixed.
Naylors. Good serve, and the Crimson unable to do anything with it. And the Bison are. Another good finish that time by Gaida. Great start here for Buffalo in set number 3, and they'd gotten off to some slow starts in the first 2.
Yeah, nice back set there, and nobody expecting that ball back there as there's blockers diving back across late. Back to live action, we got a missed serve.
2 missed serves.
Maple Grove off the hook.
2 missed serves, the only 2 points for Maple Grove in this 3rd set. But you don't want to let them come back on you for free. You could say that about any team, I guess. Beamer, once again, the trees over there, Knutson and Lampker, giving the 8th graders some trouble.
Good swing there, but she's not able to get her feet to the ball, so as a result, she kind of gets trapped into the block. That ball is going to be down for a Maple Grove point. We've got water on the floor, so we're going to take a time here and calm everything down. Moisture definitely a factor right now. You can feel it in the air.
Tough matchup over there for Beamer. Knutson's 6'1", pardon me. Lampker's 5'11", with really long arms. And Beamer is 5'8", and only in 8th grade.
I was just going to say, and going to high school next year. So
somehow that ball didn't hit anything in the rafters.
Didn't she play that twice?
Gray will try it again, and it's stuffed in her face that time. As Kaya Garrett and Macy Guida right there to meet her, and the Bison with a big win on that point because they looked like they were out of it right about, well, that's later in the point, but the first ball from Gray.
Yeah, absolutely. Looked like there was no chance, and everything bounced right, or as it were, didn't bounce right for Buffalo.
Thought it was going to end up in one of the vents. And an ace for Claire Evans. Again, if it goes up and hits a pipe up there, it's dead, right?
No, if it goes up, hits a pipe, and stays on your side and you still have contacts left, you can continue to play. If it touches anything and goes over, that's the end of the rally.
Bison working well defensively here. Beamer this time goes over the block. The Crimson able to keep on playing.
That's a nice route.
And the Maple Grove Crimson staying alive a little bit there, do get the point. Pull back to 7-4.
Lampker with another nice swing in transition onto the right sideline. Take another look here. She's able to shorten up her approach. Not able to get deep in transition like she wanted to. Cuts it off, turns around, gets in the air. Nice swing from her.
Johnson using the arms and the face there to keep that thing alive. Whatever works. Lampker with a soft touch on this one, and that went under the net. And the Crimson starting to get rolling here in set number 3.
Lampker may be our player of the game right now. She's doing some really nice things, both offensively and with her block. Having a nice match at the net.
Long on the serve, and her dad is here. Football practice over at Edina, I guess, for the day. They get started on Thursday. Darren will be coaching against Centennial on Thursday. Good early season game on the football field. There he is. Still got the Edina shirt on. I don't know if can he wear Maple Grove shirts? They get too much flack from down the road.
Not if we're going to put him on camera. He's got to go incognito if he's going to wear his Maple Grove stuff.
Down the line there with the win. Elizabeth O'Callahan, number 19, is on. That's one of the rare times I've ever seen him not smiling also.
Might not have been a good practice today.
He is one of the real fun guys in Minnesota football, I'll tell you that much.
That's awesome.
Get a chance to talk to a lot of coaches, do a lot of games, and he is always a treat. And we've seen some errors on the serves, both sides here in set number 3, and that time it came from Skylar Gray. Colleen Ebert on the serve for Buffaloes. They've been able to maintain the lead in set number 3.
This is where the switch happened last set, though. They were up 9-6 in set 2, and then they were down 12-9.
Ehlers came back to her. That was off the net. Had to attack that one from maybe a little deeper than she wanted. And look at Lampker right in her face.
Yeah, that's not pleasant to have to go into that block in a bump set where it's a trap situation. Everybody knows where the ball is going. Really nice block.
Broska using the tape to good effect, and it's 9-8.
There's the home court bounce we were looking for earlier. Roscoe, all business back there, have a little bit of smile, but she's been working really hard to keep that ball off the floor all day.
I think she was taking a little ribbing from her coach there. Had a Cheshire Cat grin on the far side. No smiles now as that one was drilled by Ehlers.
Nice swing there from Ehlers as she comes through again, looking to lead the Bison in kills again this year after a very strong 2018 campaign.
Again, the Bison, the lead shrinking a little bit, but they've been able to maintain it. And a miss hit there off the hands of Broska.
Be a timeout here for Maple Grove as Courtney Savitz had enough, going to calm her team down. They're playing a little bit of catch up and chase rather than I'm in control. A lot of this game can be played with the eyes before it's played with the arms or the feet. And right now they're chasing the ball around instead of looking at the contact point of both the server and the attacker from Buffalo and figuring out where the ball is going to be. Buffalo hitting body line most of the time, serving straight ahead most of the time. Not a whole lot of trick shots in the arsenal, but it seems to be working well enough here as they're up by 3 here in the third set. So I've been talking about getting high through the ball, making sure they're reaching forward on the block, eyes across. Really hard at this point in the day to make sure that everybody's still focused. You can see the girls sweating a lot out there, trying to stay focused. Right now it might be a whole lot of energy without focus tends to be what happens here in a situation like this. If Buffalo is able to maintain the energy they have coming out of the timeout, they could extend this lead. If they're getting if they get shut down off this timeout, I see Maple Grove going on a run and getting the lead back.
This is about the time she called the timeout at set number 2, and things really flipped. And they started with Rossing, I think, in set number 2, and she does it again here in set number 3.
Another swing from the freshman, is that right? No, she's the junior. Take another look here again on that 31 where she sets it in between the right side block and the middle block of Buffalo, so she has a seam to swing at, and she does a really nice job putting that ball through the block and down.
This is the other thing that happened in set number 2 is that Hartle was serving and gave Buffalo fits. Got Maple Grove back into the match. Ehlers. Went for touch on the first one, power on the second one, and uses the block well again.
Really nice swing there off the edge of the block. She kind of got trapped into the ground, not able to get up on as high as she wanted to, only had one option and found it.
A big point for Buffalo. You lose that one, you're thinking, oh, here we go again. Instead, they're back up by 3. I'll get Gaida back in for some offensive presence. And a break for Odine. That one had so much of the net. Thought I was going to bring it down.
I would not be surprised if Jamison Gray tightens the net up a lot more before the next match. That ball, that's the 4th ball that's caught tape and fallen.
Broska had a tough time handling that one. Rossing didn't. Well, she's been impressive.
Yeah, it's a really unorthodox swing there from Rossing, but she's able to use her eyes to see what's open on the floor and put the ball down.
She goes to the bench as Emma Schaefer comes in. Player who led the team with 220 digs last year. It might be the first time we've really called Schaefer's name tonight. Gaida challenging Schaefer, and maybe a little bit cold coming in off the bench. Good ball from Gaida. It's 14-10.
Yeah, into that 5-6 seam is really a tough spot. Schaefer not very long, not able to cover as much ground as, say, a Broska or Gray when she's back there in the 6.
Schaefer listed at 5'2", shortest player on either side tonight. And the Crimson now down 5. Biggest lead of the night in any set for Buffalo, and they're really starting to look good here in set number 3.
Yeah, combination platter. Buffalo playing clean and putting the ball on Maple Grove. Maple Grove, as we see here, just not handling the ball and not communicating well.
Better that time. Nebraska, but Crimson cede the advantage here. Good block and a good keep by the 8th grader. Sear blocked, but gets the point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Beamer didn't see that ball. She had her eyes closed and put her arms out, and that ball off the block and down. Good cover to extend the rally, but we're going to see the end here as Beamer kind of overruns it a little bit, not able to get a good block on that ball.
Learning on the job very much. Miscommunication for Maple Grove, but it worked out. With 2 players attacking that ball. Knutson, maybe the most unorthodox kill she'll have all season.
Yeah, did she get that or did Schaefer run under her and get that? It was chaos either way.
I think in that situation, you got to give it to the libero at 5'2".
Yeah.
Let her have one.
You can have your 200 digs. I want that kill right there, Coach.
15-12. And another key spot here for Buffalo. Not to give too much back. Ooh. And that is an ace. That ball looked like it just knuckled up on Beamer.
Yeah, that ball, that is a tough angle to play. Really hard, this 5-to-5 serve, and it floated and it stayed up. It was looking like it was gonna, the bottom was gonna drop out of it, and then it took one more cut up. Goes at the same ball again.
This time Beamer able to handle it cleanly. And a nice finish there. AC Guida with a big point for the Bison.
Getting out of that rotation, allowing them the opportunity to get back into their offensive flow a little bit.
On comes Claire Evans to serve. Schaefer had to extend for that one. Able to get a piece of that at the net. Renai Gray, and now the Crimson having to come back at it. This ball's going to be tricky. Nice read by Gray, but she came over the top, it looks like.
That's a tough call. Take a look. The ball tight to the net. Tough angle to pick up there. Might have been in the plane, might not have been in the plane quite yet. Al Anderson says that's Buffalo ball.
Well, they didn't get the breaks necessarily on the calls in the set. They'll take that one.
Oh, wow.
Nice play there. Lampker once again, along with Gray.
Bison are going to have nightmares about Lampker. She is late to the block, but throws her hands across where she is. Good enough for a point.
They don't have to face her again until potentially section play. Maybe that'll help them sleep a little easier. Both of these teams in Section 5, which of course has been dominated by Champlin Park for the last several years. Play this time goes to O'Callahan on the far side. And Dean has to bump over. Good setup by the Crimson, and O'Callahan, too much power on it for O'Dean, and Johnson just trying to stay out of the stands.
O'Callahan does a really nice job waiting behind that ball and coming through fast. Really nice swing from her. Like the way she spaces herself from the net and from the setter, able to come in on a good angle.
Another player who really didn't see much time through the first 2 sets, but nearly 80 kills a year ago as a sophomore. Gray, long. But tipped, they say.
Touch. Back within 1, Maple Grove. Got a timeout coming here from Buffalo. They were up by 5 and now still up by 1, but it doesn't feel like it right now. Maple Grove definitely has the momentum, has the opportunity in front of them. Good service run here. Look for the Buffalo Bison to relax again when they play loose and just keep the ball with some pace across the net. So a pass off the net, a set off the net, give your hitter an opportunity to take a swing. They're playing really good volleyball. When they get tight, when they get tense, when things start getting too close to the net, the setter puts herself in a bad position. Maple Grove, because they outsize Buffalo able to take advantage of that. Off this timeout, look for this ball to get served into the 1-6 seam. It seems to be working well. And we'll see if Maddie Johnson is able to make a play here, get the ball up and off the net.
STMA Osseo tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, just down the road. Wonder if Bill Kwan will let him just go park the truck tonight, set everything up. Drilled by Lampker to tie it.
We talked about a couple names we haven't said very much. Lampker is not one of those names. We have been speaking her praises all day, and this is a free swing. Nice control on it, big swing from her, and it's tied up, and Annika Olsen misses her serve there. Great run by the 8th grader. Lead back to Buffalo as they're up 1 here, 18-17.
They will send Emma Beckman behind the line to try to extend the run, or at least start a run, I guess I should say, for Buffalo. Facing defeat if they can't come away with anything in this set. O'Callahan right down Broadway.
Nice swing from her on an out-of-system set. Makes it 18-18.
Out goes Emma Schaefer. It will be Gray to serve for the lead. The freshman Beamer finally got one around the block. Pardon me, the 8th grader Beamer.
Next year we can call her the freshman Beamer. She's got another year of that though.
Just save that sound bite, use it again in a year.
It's a really nice swing, able to get her shoulder through the ball, drops it in front of Gray, who's actually backed up from her normal middle position because that's the first ball Beamer's really got on. 19-18, Buffalo up.
Ebert serving. You're gonna feel good for Beamer. He's had to deal with the trees all night. That time, split them. And now, it's gonna be Buffalo ball in the double touch.
Ball into the tape, no touch from the block. 2-point lead for Buffalo, excuse me.
They're responding well when they needed to the most. And a good dig. O'Dean setting up Ehlers. Back up by 3, the Bison. Trying to keep us here a little longer.
Great defensive effort, good transition set to the outside off the block into that deep corner, almost indefensible. 21-18, timeout Maple Grove. Courtney Savitt's team got to go 6 before 3 here if they're going to take home the sweep. Good volleyball on both sides. We've seen some big swings lately. Great defensive effort. Now it's about making sure that you set your stud. Right now, that is Lampker in? I can't remember if she's in or out right now. If she's in, she needs to get this ball. If not, you've got a couple other options if you're Maple Grove. On Buffalo's side, I believe we've got, is it Ehlers? Yeah, Ehlers in the front row right now. So look for her to get the ball as well.
Seems to me, and I have far less expertise than you in this sport, that this quality of play has gone on throughout the night, gotten quite a bit better.
Absolutely. Set 1 was kind of that, well, it's August, we're knocking the rust off still. We might still be licking our wounds a little bit from our first match of the season, but as we've continued, this has turned into be some really good level of volleyball here at the varsity level.
You wanted Lampker, you got Lampker. Johnson kept that alive, might have been able to let it go. Ehlers trying to make it a moot point. And Lampker gets another try, and it's in.
Lampker, Ehlers, Lampker. This is when setters, if they're smart, just keep doing this. It's not about making friends, it's about winning points, and that's a really good repeat on the right side set, although now she's off the court. Got a few other options up there, though, do the Crimson.
Broska serving. Crimson get the first point out of the timeout, and they'll get the second one.
Ball not set high enough to get across the net. A little bit of run here. Maple Grove looking to tie it up.
21-20, and Broska trying to go down the line, maybe trying to do a little too much.
Could be. At some point, we just got to trust the people in front of you to do their job. Broska right now going to need to pass to help her team out.
And Johnson at the service line. Goes deep and too deep, so gives it right back, and it's 22-21.
Both liberos back-to-back missed serves. See how they respond here. Gray back to serve, is that correct?
She's back there, although she might be back there to hand it to somebody else.
Oh, we got condensation. Oh, it's good.
Hartle.
Hartle, who's gone on runs.
Now, the U.S. Open started today, and Gray's done some cleanup on the court. She's been holding the ball for everybody, so volleyball doesn't work out, and we think it probably will. She's got a future. Flushing Meadows. 22-21, big point here, and Hartle with a dipper, and it's going to tie it up. That ball just died right in the middle.
Well, and the thing is, like, as a serve receiver, if that ball is coming straight at you, it is so hard to tell the depth. We'll take a look. This is a great angle. You have no idea when the bottom's going to fall out of that. And neither did, is it Ebert back there? That kind of got hung out to dry? Yeah, it was. Ball coming straight at you. You need the help of your teammates to tell you short and deep.
Crimson had their way with the first two sets, trying to come back here in set number 3 for the sweep. Ehlers blocked. And also Garrett blocked. And the Crimson have the lead for the first time since very early in the set.
Yeah, block, recovery, back to base, second chance, different hitter, same result. Nice blocking there. Was that Sear again? It was. Now we're going to have a timeout here from Buffalo as they're down for the first time in a long time here in set 3. Facing elimination, Maple Grove 2 points away from a clean sweep. Buffalo needing to go on a run in order to get themselves in position to extend this to a 4th set. They've had a lot of momentum here in set 3, but right now they're looking down the short end with only 2 points to give. Maple Grove, on the other hand, serving tough, taking care of the ball, getting available in transition, and blocking vision has been so good for the Crimson. Everybody up at the net getting hands across and making things really uncomfortable for Ehlers and the rest of the Bison.
Bison had really just one close set against Minnetonka. That was the second one. On Thursday, they lost to 25-23. Maple Grove, of course, was swept Saturday, eclipsing 20 in all 3 sets. In fact, their third set went to 27-25 against Maple Lake. Close one here in set number 3, with the Crimson looking for the put-away. Rossing right in the corner.
Needed all 6-1 of that frame to go up and get that one, as she wasn't able to get deep in transition. Match point here. This ball out of system set, and she goes as high as she can and puts it deep down the line. Match point.
Hartle for the win. And Buffalo needs something clean here. They will get it to Ehlers. They got 3 on the floor here, and just able to bump it over. And that'll allow the Crimson one last chance, but too long for Rossing, and the Bison survive.
Still match point, but it feels close.
So it's up to Odine, who started this match as the server. Trying to keep it going here in set number 3. Well played, soft touch. A diving effort by Odine, but it's wide, and Maple Grove wins it 25-23.
Great finish to that match. Good effort on both sides. Odine, that's such a classy move. As soon as it's done, hey, here's what we're about. We're going to go shake hands. Good job to everybody, both sides of the net. Great volleyball on both sides. Like we said, set 1, not the cleanest volleyball. As things got going, so did Lamker, and the Crimson able to push to a 3-0 sweep.
Well, really, 2 of the sets were pretty tight. That second set turning on some strange plays, maybe some controversial calls, but the Crimson, you'd have to say, were the better team by maybe a head all night.
Absolutely. Controlling the match in set 1. Set 2, like you said, it was tight until about 14, but then they put the pedal to the metal. And then down in 3, looking like we were going to be here for a 4th set, they decided to calm down, take care of the ball, and finish out with a 3-0 sweep, winning that last set by 2 points, 25-23.
I would imagine a lot to talk about for both coaches, both positive and negative, and that's what August is all about.
Absolutely. Both these teams going to reset and figure out how the conference schedule is going to work for them in a couple weeks.
And of course, we've got the Lake Conference against the Northwest Suburban Conference once again tomorrow night as St. Michael Albertville will meet Osseo. The teams congratulate each other here. Maple Grove with its first win of the season. Buffalo still looking for its first set win of the season as they try to turn the page to their next match. This was an entertaining one. It goes to Maple Grove 3-0. For Andy Gugersberg and our entire fantastic CCX crew who've been busy this week, I'm Charlie Beatty saying so long. Thanks for watching CCX Sports.